Welcome everyone to the Skeinz Diaries. Gosh, Mondays drive me crazy. It is Monday today, 18th of July. You're with Maree here with the Skeinz Diaries, episode 178. I don't know where these go. It's crazy old time. How is everybody? Good morning, good morning. Oh gosh, Tabitha's first in the house this morning. You're quick off the draw, Tabitha, which is great because your ears would have been burning otherwise. More about that shortly. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend knitting. I did. I knitted so much. I was telling Claire this morning when she got in. I knitted so much yesterday that I gave myself our RSI in the part of my sort of forearm here. I honestly needed to take advice from Patrice. You may remember I had Patrice Geese on here it'd be nearly a year ago now, actually, during the quarantine diaries. She's a physiotherapist and hardcore knitter from down south, and she gave us advice in terms of stretching and all of that. I didn't follow it yesterday. I'll show you in a second what I was up to. And yeah, I did so much knitting yesterday that I gave myself, I had to stop because my arm got so sore, which was actually nice. I haven't been able to knit actually. That's the first day that I have had in weeks and weeks and weeks where I was able to sit down and get a really solid amount of knitting done. And well, across probably two or three sessions across the day, and it was really nice, actually, really, really nice. And it was good because sometimes too, when you're plowing through a project, which I am at the moment, when you're plowing through a project, you get to that sort of tipping point where if you push past a certain place in the project, then you can see an end in sight. And I think that's where I'm at now, because what I'm doing is the Shoji, and I'm going to show you that I did bring it in to show you. So I felt like I hit that point yesterday, that I can now see an end in sight with it, because I'm quite determined to have it finished for Knit August Nights. And once I get through the section that I'm working on, I know that the final section is going to move quite quickly, but it's just getting through this next point. So I've probably still got another week's worth. The rates that I've been knitting at the moment, it might be 2 weeks worth, but I'm very determined now to get Shoji done. I really want it finished for Knit August Nights in a little over a month's time. So that is what I was doing over the weekend, and it was hard because I had a skein of Dragon's Breath, which you guys absolutely loved. I had a skein of Dragon's Breath, which I took home and wound off because I thought, I'm going to do an Ever After cowl in that, and I'm loving seeing all the Ever Afters being done. But then I actually thought about it, and I thought, no, Maree, I'm not going to do an Ever After cowl. I'm going to pull finger, and I'm actually going to write up the Ever After hat that I did ages ago. I've knitted several of those, never written it up. I need to remember, actually. Now I need to knit one again because, of course, I kind of wrote notes, but Chardonnay was involved and they were in notebooks, and I can't quite remember where I put them because it was so long ago. Yeah, I know. It's shocking. So I need to sit down and re-knit it, and then get my pull finger and I actually get it written up, because I'm thinking what I'm going to do. I say this, but I am quite determined to do this. What I'm planning to do is, I'm leaning behind to the basket. I've actually got, can you see the basket there? Look at that. So what that is the Dragon's Breaths that we graded them, because so how this worked is where they're at the mill now is they're doing these samplings now in 30 kilo dyeing. So we started with 9 kilo dyeings, and they've now moved it to a bigger machine, and it's still very literally hand, but with these bigger amounts and hand lots. Imagine, so the machine that it's going into, it's literally like when you're doing it over a pot or a bain marie. Imagine it is literally just like a big bain marie, and they're literally hand pulling it in and up and in, and it's a thing. Anywho, we have been grading the yarns because the nature of the beast is most good lot of the yarns would be one color, but then some on the outsides would be a different color and others on the insides would be a different color. So they're all quite different. So what's in the basket behind me was graded when we graded them all out, was what was graded out, and there was a small amount left, that sort of colouring. The majority of them was what went up for sale on Thursday. And then we've also got another box which will probably go out, they haven't been labelled yet, which will probably go out next week, of the sort of more purplier tones. But we're going to do something different this week. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But anyway, these are a couple, and this is a really good example because these two are very similar. But then there's more variation with this one, so that's why I've done it. Then I've got two like this. Yeah, so these are all, so like those ones are quite cool, whereas these ones are quite warm. So what I'm planning to do with these, and I want to have them ready for can, is I want to make these up into kits. So you get 2 skeins of yarn and a couple of patterns based around Ever After, because I think this dyed yarn in that stitch pattern will look amazing. And so I want to write the hat up so you can get that with the hat. And then you get a couple of, you can buy the yarns, get the patterns, and I think the hat might be exclusive to these kits. I haven't quite decided yet. And and they make great gifts, and they make, but also just if you're looking for a little project that you need if you're traveling, now that you're allowed to do that, and it will actually come in a little Skeinz baggie. So it's the plan. That's the plan. So that's what I'm looking at doing with those. So I need to pull finger and do the hat. But I was good because I also need to finish Shoji. So Shoji is by Nanook. It is the project so how this started is Ethan and I had a conversation I asked him last year, what should I knit for Knit August Nights? And I wanted to double strand. That's what I've got left in that ball. I wanted to double strand. I wanted to use Cozy 4-ply. And this is a good conversation for this because this is the Cozy 4-ply is spun to the same count as the sport weight that we've done with Trini Myrtle. But I also wanted to double strand it with some of our Whisper Fine mohair. Now, this is Aria and this is Cyan, and they're exactly the same shade. We deliberately did them the same shade. Oh, Bev says hello, Claire.
I did a secret little wave.
Oh, did you?
Oh, when you weren't looking.
When I wasn't looking. There you go. She's got her smart cardi on today. I think that's my favourite knit that you've got. I love that one.
Oh,
it's so nice. Yeah, no, it is. It's good. It's one of not our yarn, but I still like it.
It's really warm.
It is really warm. We've been at the mill. Honestly, it's well, there's people there today.
Yeah.
Last week was a bit, anyway, it's COVID for you, isn't it? Anywho, Shoji. So that's the plan. So I wanted something to knit with these two together, DK weight. So Ethan said, you should do Shoji because he knows I love Nora. I'm a huge Nora Gone fangirl. She's probably my first designer crush that I had a million years ago. And so that was an easy sell. And Shoji is a cocoon cardigan. Oh, there it is. There's my full beaten up pattern there. There it is there. And it can be worn 2 ways. So you can see it there worn both ways. So I embarked on Shoji last year. And essentially it's like a piece of origami. So you knit this incredibly long rectangle, then you fold it around and sew a seam to create the cocoon. And then you add an extra collar piece onto it, double rib collar piece onto it. You pick the stitches up and knit that in, and that's your cardigan. Sounds perfectly reasonable. What I forgot to do, so I read it and I knew it was really long having to knit that piece. I thought it was 1.5 meters because that's, I read it. When I restarted, so then it went, of course, we went into lockdown now last year. Can didn't happen. I put it into hibernation. I needed to dig it out because I thought I want to do it for Can this year. And then I reread the pattern thinking, by this stage, I'd done over a metre. I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I'm most of the way there. I didn't read it right. It's 2.5 metres that I need, not 1.5 metres. So I wasn't as far along as I thought I was. However, so that's as far as I was when it went into hibernation. So you can see it there. It is what I love about the fabric. Very simple stitch. It's essentially a 3-pattern repeat, which is 2 rows of 1x1 rib with a plain row and then offset. So you can read your knitting on this one. Really, really simple. Very nice I-cord border. Love the border. But now, so look, that's where I can tell it is. Yes, it is. That's where I got to before I put it away. Well, since I've picked it back up, so I probably did about that. Oh, I can tell actually by where I added that in. Yes, there. I did that yesterday, which may not seem a lot, but when you're doing lots of 1x1 rib, trust me, it's quite a bit. So that's where I'm at. Now, as you can see with the double stranding, the 2 colours meld and melt perfectly. I cannot tell you how good this feels. It feels amazing. It's like really, really soft. So I haven't actually measured this. I need to actually get it out and give it a good steam. I think I'm close to 2 meters here now, getting very, very close to 2 meters, which means that I'm in the final stretch. So this is where I'm at with Shoji. I'm quite determined now to get it done. And I really, 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 really have to tell myself not to get caught up with wanting to do the other hat, because I'm determined to get that finished before I dive into these other projects. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Vicky, what is my kari? This is my Nanook. Which is by Heidi Kidamaya. I knit this over lockdown. Actually, it's been nearly a year ago now. So I have had this in the pattern library for about 2012. This was released, and I think I bought it about then. I love it because I love the stitch pattern here, very Art Deco. That's what drew me to it back in the day. And Napier, of course, is the home of all things Art Deco. So was my initial attraction. And I've knitted this in Kelly & Co. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I also really like the pattern. The pattern was a truly pleasurable pattern to knit. This is your cast on edge here. So you actually start with this fan pattern first. And honestly, it's not a challenging pattern, but it's probably the most challenging thing in the pattern. Very cleverly constructed. And it's, as you can see, the fit's fantastic. I knit the largest size. And obviously I went up a needle actually too, because I use this Kelly & Co. So I think it's written for 4.5 millimeter needle. 4 millimeter needle. I actually used a 4.5. Fits me perfectly. I'm very tempted. The templies that we've got currently out, the limited edition templies I've shown you, if you're looking for something to knit in that, I think this would be amazing. Don't be put off by the fact that it is a DK pattern. And I think this is something that we need to throw our heads out. Is that we often go, oh no, it's got to be ten-ply. Bollocks my ass, it's got to be ten-ply. If you've got a ten-ply that you love and you love the colour and you want a bit quicker knitting, you can use a DK pattern in your pattern library. No worries whatsoever. So if you've got a pattern that you love, that you've knitted many times before, and it's very you and it's something that you enjoy, all you need to do is just do a wee swatch, check your gauge, check your maths, and then make the adjustments accordingly. Now, most people, if you get 22 stitches on your DK, which most people roughly do within Kui, if you, with your 10-ply, knit it in either a 4.5 or a 5 millimeter needle, measure your gauges, you'll be getting somewhere between 18 and 20 stitches. Guaranteed, that's what you're going to be getting. Then you just need to do the percentage difference between the two. So the percentage difference between 22 stitches and 20 stitches is around 10%. Between 18 and 22 is it's less than 20, it's about 18% or something like that. And then you just need to adjust, essentially move down a size by that percentage, or except that you'll have, if you stay the same, you will increase your ease by that percentage, if that makes sense. And that's it. That's seriously all there is to it. It is quite straightforward. I do it all the time. I absolutely do it all the time. And it just saves you having to go off and buy extra patterns when you don't need to, which I shouldn't be saying this because I've got a whole heap of designers sitting in the chat at the moment, and I want you to buy their patterns, but it is something that you can certainly do. If you like I'm really, there's the Red Currant and the Baha, which is currently in the Templo range that's out in the moment. I'm seriously jonesing for both of those colours, and this is what happens when I select colours that are like some of my favourites, because then I love them and I want them, and I have to tell myself, well, no, everyone, you guys need to get dibs on them first. But it's, yeah, I'm I know it's like I think I'm going to have to, though. I think I might have to get a garment lock both. She's sitting over there. Is she going to turn around and say anything? No.
It's just normal.
I know. Can't help myself. Anyway, on to the things that I wanted to talk about, and what I was saying before about Tabitha being in the house and her ears are burning, because I'm going to be talking about this gorgeous little pattern, and I'm going to put it up in the screen so you guys can see it. There we go. Oh, and I'm not even on the right page, so let's get to the right page, so people, before we share that. Right, okay. This is what I wanted to talk about today. This is a pattern that I was aware that came out a little while ago. And it's from Liz Clothier. Liz is in the US and she's in chat right now. So hi, Liz. And this pattern is utterly gorgeous. And we're in another chat group together. So I was aware of this being done and the photos that were being printed. And it's called the Very Peri Paisley sweater. And that is Paisley. That is pictured in there, the beautiful, gorgeous Paisley, which is the daughter of Murder Knits, who is also in the chat. And she is utterly adorable. She loves all animals. I think if she was in New Zealand, she'd be stealing my dogs because she just adores them. And she wanted essentially a little girl sweater. And she was very clear on the parameters that she had with it. So she had quite the brief that she wanted, and Liz helped design this for her. And it's great because I bring this up because it's done in a worsted weight yarn. So those templates that I've just been talking about would be ideal in this design, using 3.25 and 4.5 millimeter needles. So it's brilliant, actually. It's such a neat pattern and it's so cute. And I'm actually going to see if I can blow this up. Oh, there we are. So it's going to let me, there we go. Oh, no, is it going to let me do that one? No, it's not. I can't quite blow it up to the length that I want it. It just shows you it. And I've gone and popped, by the way, in the notes at the beginning, there is a link to the pattern. I know, I'm so onto it. I'm so proud of myself. What I love about this is it's got a gorgeous little mixture. There's a neat little eyelet lace through here, but there's also, and it's charted in there, some hearts, some lace hearts. And it's a lovely not wide boat neck too, so it's very, very easy and comfortable to wear. It is super cute, very feminine. Now, if you didn't want it quite so feminine, well, to be honest, it doesn't really put that in navy blue and it wouldn't be feminine. That could be Nana knitting something that's absolutely gorgeous for a wee lad, or you could take the hearts out if you wanted. But it is just a great, cute, quick sweater, kids sweater, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It is knitted in the round, but it is a quick knit, and we've got 5 sizes there. And it is one of those knits that I think that, oh gosh, I've gone and printed this so it's all come out. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to find. And there's the schematic there. So if you are quite comfortable knitting in the round and you wanted to have a pattern in the library that you knew you could whip up, have it super cute, I think this one is an absolute spot on. I feel the hankering to do this for my niece. I know she'd love it. So that's from Liz Clothier Designs. And it is actually, I think I have put it in the show notes at the beginning, so when you come back out and look at the video, you'll see the link to that pattern there. So thank you very much, Liz, for I'm going to put this in the newsletter because it's so cute, and the picture I'm going to put in there actually is the cutest picture in the world of Paisley with a Shetland pony. It is so cute. It is the cutest thing ever, so I've got to do that. So that is now out. Actually, there's a number of really great designs that are out. I was on the Speakeasy, and I printed it out. It's on the printer, and I forgot to get it. Hunt.
In the shop?
Yeah, I think it's in the shop. I think it's there. And then she's going to come back, and I probably forgot to print it. And she'll go, it's not on the printer. I know, shocking, eh? Anyway, what I'm talking about is that I was on the Speakeasy, and stop sharing, and I'm going to share this one up. She's going to come back with not there. I know.
Sure it was it?
No, it's okay. I think I know what I've gone and done. Don't panic. I'm going to do it this way. So bad. I'm so bad. I'm the worst. Oh, there it is. Look, print. Print. There we go. It's printing now. Right. Gotta love Mondays, don't you? Here we go. In the Speakeasy. I was in the Speakeasy. It might have even been on Bronwyn's Good to Go Knits page. So Bronwyn from Good to Go Knits put out a new pattern on the weekend, and I saw this, and I can't remember which page I saw it on, Bronwyn, but what caught my eye was this particular one, because it was done in what caught my eye is it was done full screen. There we go. That's what we want. It was done in this mixture and marling between fingering weight yarn, then this a fine lace weight mohair, and I just looked at that and thought, that is so beautiful and so stylish and just absolutely gorgeous. So this is, Bronwyn has been doing a series of shawls over the last 12 to 18 months. Thank you. I found it. I had it all there except I hadn't pressed print. Sorry. Thank you. Right. I saw this, utterly beautiful. And considering I'm double stranding at the moment, I just looked at that and thought, oh, this is so perfect, because, you know, I've been talking about the double stranding with the Truly Myrtle Southlander collection, with our cozies, with any of the other Southlanders. There in our Whisper Fine, there are options there. You may have, many of us have succumbed to the unicorn skein of mohair that is sitting in the stash that you've seen when you've been at a show and it's too beautiful and you've bought it and you don't know what to do with it. And the series of designs that Bronwyn has been using, and she's been lots of garter, really comforting designs to knit, and I think we all need a bit of comfort right now. This is the Gartlet shawl. This one is done in a boomerang style. So the others, the Encore series was done in big crescents. There was Encore. You had 3 Encores, and then there was, I'm just trying to think, the other shawl that you good to Comfort. Was it the Comfort shawl? I can't remember. You're going to have to remind me. Sorry, Bronwyn. But this one I love because it starts at the point, and then you do your increasing as you go out. So I personally, when it comes to knitting shawl designs, that personally for me is something that I quite like. I'm not actually a centre tab radiant type shawl knitter. I have done them, but my personal preference is for this style. So, and I love it because I like to see things slowly growing. So this was released out. Now, I do have a sneaking suspicion that there is also an introductory offer on this. So let me have a quick check, Bronwyn. Yes, there we go, because this came out yesterday. And you have, yes, 20% introductory discount for the first week, automatic in cart. So if you are looking for a shawl pattern that's quick to knit, what I do love about this is that it gives you the opportunity to be able to, there's a lovely Bronwyn, to be able to actually use up these little bits and pieces that you might have. So if you've gone and purchased a single skein of something, if you have one of those unicorn skeins of mohair sitting around in your stash, if you've got some scraps of different things, because of the striping elements in here, there is the possibilities of what you can create are endless. I love this style of shawl. This suits me right down to the ground. So I think that this is a great one. And there we go. And she's merino sock is great. Rowan Kid Silk Haze, you could use our Whisper Fine. This is also a great one if you've got any of the gradient yarns that we're playing around with. You've got a lace weight and a fingering held together, but you could just use this in a straight DK if you wanted. So there are so many different elements that you could do. I love it. I just honestly, Bronwyn, I was taking a break in my marathon knitting yesterday when I saw this, and I was like, it just went ping, when you see things and this was it. So yeah, could definitely recommend that if you're looking for something new to cast on, or if you're wanting something in there that that'll make the perfect gift, use up scraps, what have you. I would definitely be making sure that you jump in and do that for this one. It is just an absolute cracker. So many good things out there, right? So lucky. Speaking of good things out there, restock list. Orb, a whole bunch of Orb DKs come in, so they are showing online. Orb Glacier is in. We've got Shells back in, Mists back in, Denim Blue and Perindale's back in. Been missing that. Sand didn't quite go out, but it is now back in. Also Montagne and 4-ply Sock Mortician is back. And we've got a whole bunch of, oh no, those are coming. Those are coming. So we've got more stuff coming. The other thing too is I wanted to just quickly tease and show you these. This is the next dip that's coming. So this one is, they've tried a different method. I was actually at the mill when I was in the dye house when we did these. So what these are, and these are sort of the three kind of variants. We're going to grade them, but I just wanted to show you the three sorts of differences. And this camera is probably, so you can you see how there's that subtle. So what these were is, this was actually quite a vibrant green, and then we've actually put a wash of this deep blue over the top. And it has created this beautiful, slightly tonal, very set, you can see it there, saturated, deeply saturated colour. Like, it is incredible. So we have got several which are just this very, very soft, saturated tonal. And then the others have got, as you can see, little bit sneaking through. We've got them all sitting down in bins under here. They haven't been labelled yet, so they won't go out just yet. And Claire and I want to go through and grade these into the ones that are pretty much just a tonal solid colour, then the ones that have got a little bit of interesting stuff sneaking through. These are fun. Yeah, what they're doing at the mill is they're testing out all these different experiments of ways to do things to get them all nailed down. So you guys are getting the benefit of all of these as they're playing around with them. So this is the next one that we're calling them. What are we calling them? Safe Harbour and Deep Harbour?
Safe Anchorage and Deep Harbour.
Oh, there we go. Safe Anchorage and Deep Harbour. Don't ask me which one is going to. I think this one's a Deep Harbour and this one's a Safe Anchorage. So these will be coming this week. Fingers crossed, could be as soon as tomorrow. And this actually would be amazing in that very Peri. Couldn't you see that? That's so pretty, that deep blue. So we've got those coming. So much coming, so much coming. So that is going to be our next little surprise for Midwinter Stitchmas. I also have some new snug colours coming by the end of the week, all going well. And when I say all going well, that means that my son gets them all labelled for me, because we've had so many down and out. We've actually had to pull in what I call kitty labour over the school holidays. So yes, and I've got Claire's son's literally just sitting there. Lucas, we've already got you lined up for jobs today as well. Yeah, he's nodding there. Got to get them into the working spirit nice and young, don't you? These poor kids, I swear. So that's what we're going to be doing, hopefully by the end of the week as well. So there's still plenty to be had. Make sure you take some time out for yourselves this week and get your needles out and have a cup of coffee and enjoy. Do enjoy casting on something new. I think that would be loads of fun. I'm itching to do it, but I need to get this finished. And otherwise, I will see you guys back here again on Thursday. If you're in the Truly Myrtle wardrobe toolbox, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be jumping over there with Libby. I can't wait for that. I've got my boxes and bits and pieces of things to discuss with you already, so that will be loads of fun. I'll have to dig out my swatches as well. So we'll have a great chat tomorrow. Can't wait for that. And until then, have a really fantastic rest of week. Enjoy, and I will see you again on Thursday. Till then, bye.